the top hat man.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I talked
yeah,
about that.
yeah,
You guys talk about that here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So basically, what happened? So this is the craziest thing. So I remember when I used to do the podcast. So I stopped for this reason.
Yeah.
For a bit. So basically, what happened was this was the time where I was having like bare sleep paralysis, like almost like every night. But it was pretty scary. And so one night, like I don't know what it was, but I remember like waking up on my back, and like I opened my eyes, but like I couldn't move. And then at the foot of my bed, like it started to just like fade in.
Nah.
Yeah, it was like a tall figure, and then he had like a hat, but he had like no eyes, nothing. It was just the silhouette. And then like I started to panic, and so my body woke itself up out of the anxiety, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And so taking a couple of years back, my cousin, I don't remember which cousin, but he told me the story about how like he was never able to like sleep properly because he would always see like either before he would go to sleep or while he was asleep or in the middle of the night that there would always be like a tall guy in a silhouette with a top hat resting at the foot of his bed or at the doorway. And it followed him for years. And even like, I don't know if I'm butchering the story, but like even like later on when he had like a girlfriend that like she would like sleep over and she would see him too.
No.
Yeah. Like one time apparently like she slept over and then the next morning she was gone. He called her like, yo, why'd you leave? He's like, well, I got creeped out because I saw like this thing, right? Okay, so take this in, right? Like months later, I'm recording my podcast with my homegirl, right? And she's very like spiritual, like open her third eye. She has so many encounters, like gone through like monks and Buddhists to like bless stuff for her, and she's been through it all. She was telling her stories on the podcast, and I was getting chills. So I was like, you know what? I'll open up. Let me like tell the story. So I told her a story, and while we were recording, one of her like our friends were there in the room with us, and she was like listening in. And when she heard my story, she was like, yo, it's crazy because she explained her experience with the tall man. Yeah. And then as she was explaining, on the door, on camera too. I still I have it to this day.
And then the top man guy came out.
And then I turned into the top man guy. No. And then so we heard 3 knocks, all stopped. We like all like dead silence. And this is when I was still like my mom was still living with me at the time. Yeah. And so I opened the door and no one's there. And then I go to my mom's room. She's asleep.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So we're like, this can't like. What is this? And I know it wasn't them. Yeah, because you could hear it from the door. We all looked towards the door, and I have the footage. And every time like I try to go back to edit it, it's just so eerie.
Ew, because it's
like the feeling, like I feel it in my gut, and my gut feeling, I never like doubt my gut feeling. You know? Yeah. Like it's just it feels like a pressure on my heart. You know?
You know what they say though? They say if you speak about certain spirits, they'll manifest and come.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, and I'm just saying like, cause like you know how my friend, she's super sensitive to all that stuff. I feel like that's why
it follows people
it was
like that.
finally allowed to like show itself because we were expressing its presence and it got more like, you know, in tune with where our conversation was.
Because they follow people that can, I guess, communicate to that other realm.
Because they're trying to get out.
See, a lot of people are saying when we tell these stories like about the top hat man, that shit's fake. But fam, there's another person that literally goes through that shit.
And I didn't even know you guys talked
that's
about
what I'm
that.
saying. So
sure.
that's why it's so crazy. And like